Good day guys! Welcome back to my channel. My name is Ejoy. Hope you're all doing great today. So today, I'm going to share you this time how I filled out my form I-131. So I filed for this application together with the form I-485 or for the adjustment of status. Bago natin simulan na mag-fill out, konting reminders about this form. So let's start on the expiration date. Here it expires February 28, 2027. So even if the expiration date would expire the following month or like in 10 days, for example, and you were about to send the forms and file for the application, when you get to send the form or the application, the USCIS may require you to send again using the new form or the most updated one. So just make sure that you are using the most updated or up-to-date form. So mas mabuti na isubmit yung updated, guys. It's not a guarantee that you file for the application today and that they will receive and process your application right away. So it doesn't work like that. Maging sigurista lang tayo, guys, to save up time. And another one, there is no fee when filing for this application or form. That if you are filing it together with the form I-485 for adjustment of status. Even if you did not file this form I-131 together with the form I-485, like for example, you have decided to send it later. While your I-485 is pending, still there is no fee, but you have to send a copy of the receipt of the I-485 adjustment of status or the form I-797C, yung notice of action. So, kung huli mong sinend si form I-131, just make sure that you attach this receipt or the form I-797 notice of action together with it. Another one is that sending it separately later on would require you to send it to a different USCIS address or lockbox. So it depends on your receipt number or letter, like IEO. So it depends on the letter of your receipt number. Doon ang basihan kung saan mo isasend si form I-131. If huli mo siyang sinend, hindi mo sinali sa form I-485. So, if you ask me why I filed for this application, my answer is for emergency purposes. Yung iba, yung gusto lang mag-visit, kanya okay naman. But personally, I intended to do that for emergency cases. Just in case whatever happens there sa Pinas that would require me to go home to the Philippines, well, the filing fee is free, so why not? Well, I was waiting for my green card that time yet. Also, just a reminder, this is optional. If you really need this one, depends on your situation, you can do that. But just make sure to not leave the country or the US without your EP or advance parole or this form I-131 approved. Or without your green card. So, mas maigi, meron na yung green card and this travel document para makabalik tayo sa US if mag-travel tayo sa Philippines or sa ibang bansa. And in my case, I-485 or my green card was approved first. I didn't have to wait for this application. Everything is approved when you get your green card. So now let's fill out the form. I am using a sample information. This is where we start. In here, part 1, information about you. Type or print in black ink. They say that because you can fill it out using your black ball pen and or using the computer. So part 1, put your family name, give a name, and your middle name. If you don't have your middle name, then don't put anything in there. So this is my family name after I got married here in the US. So I was a K1 visa holder before and got married here. So I am now filing for my adjustment of status, and I'm also filing for this travel document. Now I'm using my married name in here. Okay, so next, physical address. I put here my husband's name, in care of, and our address, our home address here in the US. So just make sure that's complete. So the state, the zip code, and the country, which is USA. And other information is your alien registration number, which is you can find it on your notice of action or your form I-797. It's above the beneficiary name. That starts with letter A. So that's the alien registration number. The country of birth, I was born in the Philippines, and the country of citizenship. So this class of admission, I put here K1. If, for example, you are a student, then put F1 in here, or if you're a tourist, then B2. So that depends on your visa. So next here, gender, date of birth, example, month, date, and year in that order, and my social security number. That's very important. You put your social security number here. If you don't have it, then find a way to get a social security number in the US. So if you don't have your social security number yet, I have a separate video on how to apply for social security number here in the US. I'll put the link on my description box if you want to check it. Just check it out, guys. Part 2, the next page, is application type. What are you applying for? So for me, I click this box. I am applying for an advanced parole document to allow me to return to the United States after temporary foreign travel. So you don't click this, I am a permanent resident, this one, I am not a refugee or asylee. I'm not outside in the United States. So this is where I belong. So I click this box right here. And this one, provide the following information. If you check box 1, so this is not applicable for me, so I have to leave this all blank. You can put also not applicable if you want, but you can leave that blank. Part 3, this is the processing information. So number 1, date of intended departure. So when is your date of travel? I just put here an example, and then expected length of trip. So do not put 30 days or more than 30 days because a lot of attorneys do not recommend that. And most especially the USCIS would not guarantee you'll get approved with that 30 days or more. So I put 10 days. That would be good. And number 3, are you or any person included in this application now in exclusion, deportation, removal? So that does not apply for me. So I click here no. And if yes, name of the DHS office. So I said no here. So I just leave this box blank. Next is the country of birth. So this is the continuation in this part. So I left it all blank in here. So next is, have you ever before been issued a re-entry permit or refugee travel? So for me, no. Date issued, so I just leave it blank in here because that does not apply for me. Part 3, processing information, continuation. So where do you want this travel document sent? So once it's approved, they're going to send the card to you or a letter of approval. I clicked here to the US address shown in part 1. So that's my home address. And I just leave it all blank in here. If you checked 6 or 7 right here, where should the notice to pick up the travel document be sent? So I didn't have to answer all these questions since I answered to my home address. And then part 4, information about your proposed travel. So purpose of trip. I put there to visit my parents in the Philippines. So I cannot remember exactly how we did that or how we stated that. It's like, so for example, if you have like documents to sign or that requires your signature in person, so you need to be there, things like that. This is just an example, like this, to visit my parents. This is also a valid reason, right? Visit the parents. And then list of countries you intend to visit. So for me, it's just Philippines that I wanted to visit. Yeah, while waiting for my green card in case of emergency. So moving on to part 5, complete only if applying for a re-entry permit. So I just leave it blank in here. And since you became a permanent resident of the United States, have you ever filed federal income tax? So it does not apply for me. I answered here, no. Then moving on to part 6, complete only if applying for a refugee travel document. So para sa refugee lang ito from number 1 to 4. And this does not apply for me. So I just leave it all blank. And part 7, complete only if applying for advanced parole right here. So we can answer these questions. Number 1, how many trips do you intend to use this document? So for me, I just said 1 trip. That would be enough. Then I click here, 1 trip. If the person intended to receive an advanced parole document is outside the United States, so I am not outside the United States. Nasa US lang ako, guys. So I have to leave this all blank in here. And you can put not applicable if you want as well. So these are all blank. You do not need to provide explanation if you are applying advanced parole together with your form I-485 for your adjustment of status. So moving on to part 8, employment authorization for new period of parole under Operation Allies Welcome. I think this is the new part that they added to this document. So I am requesting an employment authorization document, EAD, upon approval, Operation Allies Welcome. So this is not applicable for me. I answered here, no. This is for Afghani nationals who are paroled in the US or newly added. This is the newly added page. So this does not apply for me. So let's go on to part 9, which is your signature as the applicant. So just your signature, no printed name, just signature, date when you signed the form, and your daytime phone number. So I put here my number here in the US. Do not forget to sign this after you print this form. And then part 10 is information about person who prepared or helped you prepare for this form. So for us, or for me, I didn't have any preparer. So I just leave it all blank in here. You can put NA or not applicable if you want. And that's it, guys. That's only 5 pages. If you ask me kung madali lang ba ma-approve ang advanced parole or this form I-131, I would say it takes a long time to get approved. It's unreliable. In my case, I received my green card first. So I didn't get to have my combo card, that's what they say, the advanced parole and the employment authorization on hand because I got my green card approved first. And yung iba rin, they received their employment authorization first without the advanced parole, something like that. But just give it a try. It doesn't hurt. So yeah, this application is free, so you can do that as well. So I hope you find this video helpful. Thank you so much for all of your support, guys. See you on my other videos. Thank you for being awesome. God bless.